This was all just build up.
Right there. Yeah, that should be happening.
The view count has nearly doubled during this process. This was all
We're
almost there.
Right there.
Almost
Yeah,
there.
that should
The
happen.
view count has
We hear
nearly
it.
doubled during this process.
Oh shit.
This was all almost there.
Right there.
Almost
Yeah,
there.
that should happen.
Oh, I
We
can
hear it.
You better be fucking ready.
Oh shit.
Said he absolutely did not want to stream. Silently setting up the stream to take over will magically fix things. My friends, welcome back to the Swain Batty League. Scuffed as ever, as we have always been and are always meant to be. I am AJ0. I'm thinking in circles right now. But what I wanted to lead with, and what I've monologued multiple times, included screaming into the microphone about, my friends, it is the 10th anniversary of the Swain Batty League. 10 years ago and a little change. I'm sitting there drunk in front of two of my friends, pitching this idea for a League of Legends tournament that would somehow allow all of our friends across the entire spectrum of skill sets to participate and get something meaningful and enjoyable and competitive out of. And somehow the Swain Batty League was born. We had our first draft. I had no idea. This was a wild idea completely. There was nothing I was basing this off of. All formulated, could have been a disaster. Unfortunately for us, it was a huge success. And now 10 years later, across a whole bunch of games, we have streamed a lot of Batty esports. And the SBL, the king of it all, the one that started us off, our League of Legends League, is here for its 10th anniversary. Gentlemen, how do you feel for the third time? How do you feel about 10 years of the SBL?
Well, I think after all of that, we need to start off saying I feel like that we should have figured out the stream after 10 years. We've done this a couple of times, but more importantly, I think that the SBL has really solidified some friendships. We've met a lot of cool people over the years. We've played a lot of League of Legends, and we've had so much fun. We've done countless amount of leagues, and I'm excited for a new season.
Yeah, I feel really old now on the third take here, but I still feel really old. The fact that you told me 10 years when I connected tonight, I did not know that, but I'm really happy to know that we've been going for that long. That's strong too.
Yeah, honestly, I've just loved meeting all these people. It's been an amazing experience, and I'm looking forward to more years.
Yeah, I have, I would have never imagined this league existing into my 30s. To be fair, it stopped existing for a bit. Not that Batty Esports ever stopped existing, but the SBL stopped existing. And then a few years ago, we kind of all, during the pandemic, really kind of got back into League of Legends together, realized it could be fun to bring this back. And now here we are, running it a little less often. It's maybe a little less intense than it used to be. But we're here. SBL 2023. Yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited that we scuffed this draft a bit because it gave us a bunch of time for the view counts to climb up. I was just watching the view count practically doubled thanks to our good friend audio issues. And I assume that we're going to be good to go any minute here. All right, there we go. Speaking of the devil, the draft has officially begun. Thrifty Senpai is putting LCAT on the clock. And real quick, as we go in here, I just want to explain this. I know we have some folks that maybe haven't watched before or haven't watched many times. This is an auction draft. Your 4 team owners or team captains, as you want to call them, LCAD, Cruz, Zed, Hibbs. The 4 guys that are drafting, they do not play in this league. Their only competitive responsibility is tonight to try to assemble the best team possible like it's a fantasy football roster. And they're going to do that with an auction draft. And then those teams are stuck together for a whole season. We'll crown a champion. We'll crown somebody in last place. We'll crown a bunch of people that aren't champions, including myself usually. And the first of those players we're going to be signing on is Tree, the most iconic SBL support.
Yeah, I mean, Tree has been legendary for a long time, and actually without Cal playing this season, Tree really moves up into a new tier into the support listing.
He thought he was getting overpaid for before, but now will he get the max?
What are the best parts about Tree this season compared to like the last couple of seasons since we came back from the hiatus is Tree's been playing a ton, like an absolute ton of League of Legends. I mean, I've even been duo queuing with him, and he's on some pretty good League of Legends right now, and he's been putting in some time. I'm very excited to see where he goes in this.
I've even seen some of his clips too, and he's popping off over there.
Yeah, he's got a really good Rakan right now, which is something that I think the other 4 supports or 3 supports don't really play at all. Thresh has recently become really good, which is I guess Resquect plays that, but Joe and Tizzy and Bestis really don't touch that. So I think he's got a pretty unique spot that is also going to be pretty good.
Yeah, one real quick. I just want to comment on one of the smaller rules of the auction draft. You'll notice LCAD here is saying match a lot. So for the most part, it's a pure auction draft. The only thing that matters is the money. The draft order is mostly arbitrary. The only thing is that whichever of the drafters nominates a player can choose to match any bid, and they get the tiebreaker. All other bids, it's a first come first serve basis. So if 2 people try to bid $4, whoever's message went through first gets it. LCAD will get the chance to match because he nominated Tree, and then we'll cycle through all the drafters one at a time until this whole thing's over. And if I know anything about these drafters, it's LCAD has negative interest in trying to expedite this process. He will drag every single bid out for as long as humanly possible. And the SBL draft, there's 2 ways this could go. This could go faster, this can go slow, and we are on the slow train tonight. I think Tree's still going to climb a bit here, so I'm not gonna say anything too definitive. The one thing I'm really curious about here is we've really seen across SBL history, drafting players that play either of the 2 positions in bot lane can kind of be a skill trap, or like a strategy trap. It's really hard to draft a winning team if you invest a lot of resources into the bot lane, because let's say you spend $9 to get the best AD carry in the league. That still doesn't matter as much unless you pair them with a really good support player. And so we've seen a lot of seasons where a ton of money gets spent on an AD or on a support, and then there's not a good partner with them. So you don't get your full worth out of the investment. Or worse, you try to invest into both players, and then you have literally no money left for the rest of the team. So I'm hoping for Tree's sake, because I want to see my friend on a winning team here. Oh, it's over. $4? I was told he was going for 13.
$4 seems pretty reasonable for Tree. You got to also think with this league, the other supports aren't like miles apart from Tree. Resquect is really good. Bestis is really good. Joe's got a couple of good characters. I mean, like, it's not like that bot lane's miles apart, like that we'll see in the top lane when those start to get drafted.
Yeah, but there are multiple of those players that you named could play other positions as well. You know, Bestis and Resquect, if you ask me to bet money on it, I think they will both not play the support position. So that could change things there.
Yeah, and for reference, Tree went for 225 last season. So
oh wow,
definitely some more stock put into this season. Is it true that bot lane in general has a lot of power in the meta, or that there's a lot of focus around it, or is that?
Yeah, that's because junglers are ganking tons right now. It's gonna slow down a little bit next patch when junglers get forced to farm a little bit more. But people are living bot lane right now, and there's not a whole lot of reason to go anywhere else on the map.
Gotcha.
Westwero though on the clock, yeah. Master Splinter.
I've heard some people in this channel who think that they are going to be a better jungler than Master Splinter this season. Really interested to watch that one play out on the Rift. We can leave it at that. I will say
what I said.
I think Splinter has taken a lot of heat in the last year. I think a lot of it has been very undue. I think he is still a much better player than a lot of people give him credit for. I think he was a huge part of his team's success.
650 Master Splinter. Oh, this is too much. Oh my God. No.
We don't
have players that are $7, $8 players anymore. There is nobody in this league worth that much anymore.
That
Oh.
it kind of changes. If everyone's a little bit worse though, it does kind of make it so that the people.
But Splitter hasn't been playing League of Legends. Go back, look at his match history. He's not playing games like he used to. He's now even farther removed from the Master Splinter we saw. And we had a Tim and Splinter team last season that didn't even make it to the finals. Oh
Did he play
wow,
badly,
this is.
though?
It wasn't that he played badly. It was just he is not Baby Skarner's backpacks.
There wasn't a third good player on his team.
Wow, they're locking this in. 2 seasons in a row, same price, $7.25.
I think that is super worth it. I think way too much stock is being put into the amount that he has recently been playing. League of Legends is like riding a bike. Most of it comes back before too long. And the one thing I will say about Wes, he is a psychopath who wants to win. No matter how much whatever amount of himself he can invest in, maybe it's less than he used to, but whatever amount of himself that he can invest into winning, he is going to invest in the winning. The man is fucking crazy. He cares about winning in a way that very few people I have ever known do. And I think people are going to be in for a surprise if he ends up on a halfway decent team, because I think West still has it.
Guess we'll have to see in the season. Salvo $0. Oh, this is an awkward time, and I love putting up these kind of bets when I'm an owner, where you just take like this middle of the pack kind of like awkward and see where people are at. Like, are you throwing tons of money out at them? Are you just trying to drain other people's money? Salvo is an interesting choice.
Went for $0 last season, did he not? People were like putting
negative
$0
last season.
Yeah, I remember being very upset at that.
I still don't like in a bot lane SBL meta when you have a potential of Resquect, Lazy Laz, Tuesday, I mean, even Joe, even Dan on the Ash.
Shut the fuck up, you hamster ass. Do not put his name into the same sentence as
all right.
Wait, what the
fuck? Forget the Dan. But
so
I mean, like, everybody else.
Don't forget the Dan.
Yeah.
Let me add one really vital statistic about Salvo. He very recently got out of a 15-year relationship, and the last person I know that left their wife during an SBL season proceeded to play about 800 games of solo queue in the span of 2.5 months. I think Salvo is going to go crazy this upcoming season trying to get back into form. And this is a guy, he did not take the last 2 seasons that seriously. I think this is going to be the best we've seen Salvo in years, and I think $1.25 is a hell of a bargain. For a guy
he's with Tree.
That's a hot take.
He's also with Tree, though. Yeah, so he gets to play even more together, which is actually really, really good synergy-wise for them. So that's a great pickup from Cruz.
That backstory changes my whole perception of Salvo. He's gonna go off this season.
He's playing with Tree. That's like his.
They also have $14 left. Like, it's not like he's poor.
Yeah, this is already pretty good for Team Cruz here.
Well, speaking of other AD carry players.
Oh my god. What is Dan? All right, so I went back and I watched the SBL finals right before this cast, and I watched Dan pick be a jungler and then pick Udyr he had never played, a Shaco he had never played, and then Rammus. And before that he was playing Ashe, and then Ashe would get banned and he would lose games. Is he going to go back to the top lane this season? I actually didn't even see where he put his numbers at.
So Dan signed up with a 3 in the top lane and a 3 at AD carry.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Dan is a man that trusts his teammates. And that's why he had to pick those things. But
yeah, Dan got put in a really impossible situation last season. I know that he did not end up where he needed to end up, but
how much did he go for? That's the real question.
He went for $2.75 last season, which is definitely high for Dan. 25 cents, probably low.
Yeah. I think on the lower end of things.
That's low. Oh wow.
And he's going to Hibs with Splinter.
Yeah. Damn.
And now you see, Dan is like a wild animal, like a horse, but like a wild horse. And like if you encounter a wild horse in the wild, what do? You need to tame that horse. Who out there in the SBL is the most known for their ability to rein in wild fucking animals and make them play with the team? Master Splinter.
All right. Moving on to Resquect that we got up here on the board right now. This is my number one pick to pick early in the draft. Resquect is liquid for your team. He is one of the better mid laners. He's one of the better supports. He's one of the better AD carries. And he's good at all three of those roles. And guess what? If you really needed to, you could throw him in the jungle too. And he's got a few of those. Like, this guy is so good to pick up on your team that you don't know where they're going. So I think we got Elcad and Zed going to be trying to go hard for this guy.
So the one thing I will push back on what you said one of the best in a bunch of roles. If this guy is really number one capable, can he be the best at any of those roles?
He's probably actually the best AD carry.
Yeah, he consistently has great mechanics, and I
think
can
he's
see
probably
it.
Best AD carry, second best support, or second best mid laner, probably best support. I think he's best in both bot lane roles. Especially
bot
with
lane
Cal
expert.
In this season.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with that, and the value of being able to draft them to play either of the two roles is pretty enticing. It all falls back to the scary building through bot lane problem that just bites so many teams wrong. I'm curious to see where he goes to. I think he's going to end up just shy of Splinter when all is said and done here, but we'll see. There's still a lot of betting. You know, God bless Zedekis, who's willing to jump the bet by more than 25 cents at a time.
Yeah, I like that.
And goddamn Mitchell Dalkey, why did I get this fucking jackass a job? Gonna fucking make this single-handedly make this draft go an hour longer.
All right, Resquect. Let's see what did he go for last season? $7. Will he get there?
He was still good last season, and I think that this guy had 2 kids and still plays a ton of League of Legends.
Yeah, I mean, well, shit. And who played support for you guys the most last season, Wayne?
It was Bestis.
So you guys,
it was a Bestis Resquect.
I'm like shitting on building through bot lane. I totally forgot that it was a built through bot lane team that won last season.
Yep. Yeah, because we had Tank X top, which and then Blab mid. And then we would sometimes swap out Bestis for Tizzy and then put Bestis top.
Yeah, that's right. I know Resquect had he's a fucking monster last season. He's probably one of the players that's played the most in the SBL, like over the last few years, constantly.
Yep. Yeah, he drew a Caitlyn ban for us literally I think almost every single game. I think there were 2 games where Caitlyn was open. And I think one of them we picked Caitlyn and one of them we didn't.
Moment of truth. Can he match the GOAT?
Oh, man.
With all these praises, I'm wondering if we really should be considering if he should just be higher. Like at this point, if he's, especially if you can get a build through bot lane, it's almost like, dang, get this guy $8. I don't know.
Maybe.
I think I'm inclined to agree with Cal. I know, Wang, you were saying the opposite not too long ago, but I think that there's such a chasm between the best players and the worst players this season that if you can just get 2 of these top truly top flight players for $14-15, I think there's going to be so many options at the back half of the draft to find value.
Do you think how much of a difference do you think Resquect is from Tuesday? Who I would say is probably the realistic third AD carry.
I think there's a pretty decent gap there.
Probably right. Damn, this is going high.
A little bit, yeah.
Wow. All right, now it's starting to get scary. Respect's over there, like, Wang, you fucking ruined my season. You talked me up.
Well, it's the champion tax. Like, if you win the championship, and the thing is, it's not that he just won the championship. It's not that he was just, with all due respect, he was not just Tank X on the team. Like, he was not a passenger on the bus. He was the goddamn bus. Like, the winning happened because he was directing it. He was carrying all the games. He was drawing the bans and popping off anyways. And when you're the champion bus driver, you pay the tax next season. And
$850. Oh god, Zed, do you even know it? Get this guy away from the keyboard.
Well, Zed did say he wanted to draft baby mental team, so
Baby mental.
Damn, this is insane. Oh wow. I hope that I hope that Respect has put the kids to bed so he can scream a little bit about this one.
Respect in the chat, fuck you, Wang.
Yeah, I mean, as some other benchmarks, Cal went for $9 last season, Thrifty went for $8.25. So he's in between those in terms of value this season.
Oh.
I mean, that's okay. I think that's okay. This 850 right now at this point in the draft.
Yeah, I think you're right.
There's only there's only so many star players left, and I'm glad we're just putting another one of them up. Thrifty Senpai, the artist formerly known as Who Killed Alice, the commissioner of the Swain Batty League.
Shit, that
second place
brings
last
me
season.
back. Holy shit, Who Killed Alice?
In my opinion, the last superstar on the table. So I'm curious to see what happens with the bidding here. If you're the last superstar to go, either you go for too much because everyone's anxious to get you on their roster, or you go for too little because a bunch of people have already spent a bunch of money. So I'm curious to see what he's going to be.
I mean, like, Zed's got to be thinking, I'm probably out this round. I settle for getting, like, Tuesday or Phoenix Blaze or something on my team to try and conserve a little bit of money. Cruz might be in this for a little while.
Has everyone jumped in? Looks like everyone's gunning for him.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Hibbs might want in, recreate the Master Sprinter Thrifty Senpai team that we saw last season.
Yep.
They got. I said they got second place. They actually got closer to like third. They were Autofill Incorporated.
They were third. They were non-fungible Teemos. Thank you very much.
Oh, non-fungible Teemos. Sorry, my bad.
First seed playoff flameout. The AJS 0 special.
$7 over to Zed. Damn, Zed.
Do you think Respect and Thrifty with $3 remaining is a good enough team to win the SBL?
Maybe. No, I don't actually. I don't actually.
Was that assuming mid and ADC?
Yeah, I think so.
It'd be real tough.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I think you need to go a little bit lighter on a mid laner. Probably get a real support. Hope that you win out with one of the top laners playing a better season than you expect them to, and get 30 or numbnuts in your jungle. I think that would be my plan.
825.
25 cents from Tide with John.
Yep.
Are people scared though?
As his last season value right now. And he'll go for a little bit more. Has he been playing a lot?
Yeah. Thrifty honestly has been playing some of the best League of Legends I've seen him play in a long time.
Well, okay.
And some of the most. He is definitely a star in this league. Can he put 4 players on his back? I don't know, maybe.
That means Thrifty has made it to the most expensive player in the draft. I was going to ask after Respect, do you think that he's the most expensive player in the draft at the 850. And I thought it was a no-brainer. Obviously, he will be. And I'm glad I didn't make that take on stream because here we are. I assume this is going to Elkan. Elkan doesn't have a player. This is the last superstar remaining. You pay the tax to get your star to build around.
Honestly, when you said he was the last superstar remaining, I was kind of surprised because I feel like people like Dario Chapman, the bestest one, still are.
I forgot about
I was reading the same thing as you.
I was like, man.
No. The chat.
That's
what you're talking about, AJ's, right?
NT wrote that, I think.
No, I did not see that. Guys, I have 6 windows up right now, and I'm actually focusing on all of them. The draft is a challenge, my dudes. But yes, Dario would be the really obvious remaining superstar here. I'm using superstar pretty restrictively here, so I'm not gonna put Bestis in that one. I'm gonna put him in the star. He is a star.
Bestis is sometimes tough. I love Bestis, and I like when he's on my team. But sometimes he pulls out some whack stuff. Sometimes he's playing some stuff that he really doesn't know how to play. And he pilots it pretty decent, but like it's just I really would rather have had you tell me what you really know how to play rather than what you think I want you to play.
Hey, big champion pool. I'll take that. It's a very valuable thing.
And obviously, it was last season. I mean, like you played both top and support.
All right. So while we got a break in the action, we get the rare opportunity to maybe break out the rosters as they are. We're 6 picks in. Everybody has a player. That's always good. There's nothing like the anxiety of getting to this point than seeing somebody without any players. I don't know. What do you guys think of where we're at so far? Who would you want to be of these 4 teams right now? If you could write one of the team drafters in your death note and take over on their behalf, who are you offing?
I mean, Cruz's team. Yeah, he's got 2 players and $14 left.
Yeah, my gut was to say Cruz too.
He's not enough to pick up Chapman and probably a really good jungler, and I think that he goes hard. My wing on the clock. Fuck me.
Oh, the alleged best jungler in the SBL.
Already higher than last season, which, by the way, last season 250. Are we guys? Were we for real back then? Yeah, like was that a real thing? Like come on, everybody, let's crank this guy up.
There were some scuffed picks at the draft. Wang at 250, Blab at 225 last season.
Honestly, with how this draft is going and the money pools right here, I would not be surprised if Blab goes low again this season.
Whenever like all the really high picks are just put out really early, everyone's just sitting on $10. Like, oh man, I'll throw some penny change in there, 25 cents there. You know, it's tough.
Interesting that Hibbs is going for me. Like I feel like he's just trying to bring up my price because
why are you talking about yourself? All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me talk about my Wang. 3 in both the jungle and the mid lane position. I don't think that's being talked up enough. You all may remember this was the man across the first 3 years of the SBL. That's 6 seasons if you're counting. The man who was more likely to lose every single game he played than to have a season where he won even a single game. And then he played mid lane, he won the SBL, and then he went back to the jungle and he won the SBL some more. And now here we are, he's one of the most perennial winners in the league. But that's not as funny because now it's officially the age of the Wang. He's going straight to the moon apparently, as we're 420 and rising right now.
Yeah, as it should. He almost undoubtedly plays the most league in the league. lot.
It's him and Albino Joe, yeah. And
Yeah.
I think Wangs gets a little more value out of the games he plays. He's going to be playing a pretty wide spectrum of characters at whatever role he's in. He's going to be grinding whatever that makes sense for the team. Like, this is a dude, if you're like, yo, we need you to pick up 2 champs, like, he's going to be like, yeah, let's pick those 2 champs up. You got it, boys. Like, let me block into this work meeting and then play solo queue.
So I have like a little over 300 games this season. That's since January X, and then Joey only has like under 200 games.
Only.
Wake's coming in to brag with something that I don't know if you're supposed to be bragging about. But yeah, I mean, you're not just drafting that. You're drafting maybe the literal most experienced competitive League of Legends player in the league. Between the almost every single SBL, all of the LAN tournaments, like, this is a dude, all of the clashes, Wangs maybe played at every single clash that's ever happened, or damn close to it. Like, you're drafting a hell of a lot of competitive experience and a guy who probably fits on any team, but $5 is fucking monkey money. This is insane.
The one thing I will say about Wang is every single time I played against him, it's always just, it feels like you get to that 4 or 5 moment in draft in the second rotation where I'm just like, man, what in the world do we ban? Like, you have a couple annoying things that I'm always like, we could probably deal with this. Maybe he pulls out this. You're very unpredictable. It's really good for your teams, I would say.
Yeah, huge champ pool. I mean, you can play engage or farm heavy stuff, gank heavy stuff, and 550. I'm gonna say it's gonna end up at 6 here, which I think would be even low for me, in my opinion. But I think he'll realistically go for 6 here.
550 is gonna be it. I'm stupid. Why you never comment on that?
Yeah, it's man. I think he should even go for more, but I think people know what his last season price is, so I think they're gonna take that into account and not go that much.
That's $5.75, $6, like $6. That's Buzz driver money. That's what scares me. I don't think Wang. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, there's the 6. There's a match.
Can he go more than Master Splinter? I guess it's only 6, but
I
thought we were at 7.
Wait, he should go more for Master Splinter.
Expand on that one. Expand on that 130.
Right now, I think Wang is a better jungler than Master Splinter.
Oh, there's 2 of them.
Yeah.
I got him.
Yeah. $6. Okay. Well, I mean, that's fair, but.
So Wang and Respect, reigning champion teammates. Zed agrees with, and that is gonna be the majority of a team here. So Wang gonna get a chance to. Is Zed gonna just try to put the whole team back together?
Holy shit!
There's no way. There's no way.
Yeah, there's a way.
I think they could, maybe if they're lucky, they could still get Renai and some teammates. They're out of the bestest one race with 550 left. Probably.
Yeah, that's the only team that can actually run it back, right? Everyone else is unique now. Yeah. All right, back to Hibbs here. Do you think he's gonna try to go for something of his, or he's gonna put something else up? Try to bid up someone else? Pause. Okay. Just gotta think about it. Yeah, this is the point of the draft where you gotta start thinking about it.
Yeah, Hibbs. We've got 3 guys with double-digit dollars remaining still, so they have a lot of ways they can take this. It's really just Zed. Zed's like, what Zed wants to happen is he wants a bunch of the mid-tier players to start going, like the middle tier of the remaining players to start going and just burn through some people's money so he can get into the race on some players later. The worst thing for Zed is the best players remaining going right now. But the other 3 teams want to probably bid for the best players remaining.
Yeah.
Do you pay for this draft advice, or what's your rate?
That's true. All of the drafters are legally obligated to have the stream up but muted, so they can only be swayed by Twitch chat, which would be fair. And here it is. The wrecking ball.
Dario Chapman.
Well, it always feels like there's one team each season that's like this team. Like, think of the energies from Master Splinter, Dario, and Dan. Like, and then like other people that are adjacent in that type of vibe. I feel like that's this team already. And I don't know what that is, but they're gonna all be on the same page, I think.
I think we all probably agree that I would just fucking drop $10. Like, don't even waste the time bidding. Dario is. It's two parts. He's that good, but more importantly, B, he is that far ahead of essentially all of the top lane opposition.
Yeah, Dario is pretty insane. The only thing that I feel like we can look back on last season, as also somebody who just watched the finals from last season, is he didn't dominate tank acts like we thought he would. But we essentially got a full season where we didn't get to see him top lane, which is kind of sad.
Maybe if he just sticks to top lane and just practices only top lane,
Yeah.
I think we could see that form of him again.
Wait, was this last season where he started jungle? Or is
He
that
played
the season prior?
he played the whole regular season in the jungle last season. The team was pretty mediocre, and then the playoffs came. They role swapped for their first round playoff match against my team, and caught some lightning in a bottle with having a great edge in the draft because they were literally role swapping for the draft. But then that kind of fizzled out by the finals. You could tell the team just wasn't as practiced with those positions. I agree. I think if he's playing top lane for a whole season, there's basically no bad situation for him. He's going to stomp a significant number of games. It's hard not to be excited about him on like literally any of these current teams.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. If he starts top, he's gonna end up as the top laner, top laner.
Oh my god.
And he also, like, for as rough of a finals as he also had a dicey situation in the jungle that would, he would play with an off-role jungler who was kind of filling in for him in Dan. Maybe it's hard to imagine. Like, he's probably going to be playing with, like, a jungle main with any team that he's on. So, like, that's going to give him a little bit of an extra edge in the top lane that may not have been there in the finals.
I would say one of the best parts in his stocks is a lot of the reason maybe he lost last time, like we were talking about, is the fact that he's just crushing all the other top laners. Anyone that goes against him usually downplays, down solo kills sometimes, and as long as he can keep doing that in this season, then he is one of, if not the most important player in this league, because no one can match him. If it's not like super off-rolled, like Bestis, maybe super off-rolling and then going even type thing. Which, if you're having to swap your best player to play against their best player, fair enough.
And it looks like that is going to be it. It's going to be Elcad. So it is going to be Thrifty and Dario Chopman in the solo lanes with allegedly some teammates around them by the time this is over.
We talked about if Thrifty and Respect could win a season. What about Thrifty and Mad Cow though?
100%.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's any combination of 3 players left that doesn't put that team into the SBL finals.
Yeah, I think you try to get whoever you think is the best jungler or one of the best junglers remaining, and you just go with the old SBL tradition of playing hard through topside, sacking bot every game.
Yeah, this is the strongest topside team already.
Like, just imagine 30 in the jungle on that team.
Cat's calling him out as himself out as the best jungler left. I don't know about that, but maybe.
Who?
Cax. He's a new player that signed up this season. He's played in the Smash and Guilty. We do ever do a BBFC league? I don't know. He plays the fighting games.
Yeah, he's a fighting game player.
But he's also a jungler.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah, we got quite a few of our rookies play multiple of our new players play jungle. So those are some unknown quantities, but we'll get to them when we get to them. LCAD spending. My dude, you had a lot of time to plan for this. Like, nominate the damn player already. He makes the bidding go slow. He makes the nominations go slow.
It's just building the hype.
Yeah.
This guy's a hype builder.
So I think it's obvious that he's not. I don't think he's gonna go for someone he wants here, right? He's gonna just throw up something.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing he can really get with 375 yet at this point.
Yeah. You got to throw up the best player. I'd probably even throw up the best player and put 375 on him and hope you don't get him. If I were sitting in his shoes right now.
What would you have to lose?
Left?
What would he have to lose? Well, according to this tier list I saw, there are 6 players in the D tier per My Wang, and what you have to lose is ending up with 3 of those players for certain.
I thought we said that it doesn't matter who the other 3 players are on the list.
Listen, let's not stretch the words that came out of my mouth. Okay?
All right, so best players left: Renai Circulation.
Yeah, Renai, bestest one.
Is
probably Lazy Laz.
Oh yeah, Lazy Laz.
Who is the scariest of those 3 players, because he's the most of an unknown quantity, because even though he played well in the charity tournament, like that's such a scuffed tournament that like you gotta take that with a grain of salt. And beyond that, we just really know nothing about him. And there is a long history of drafting that type of player being a nightmare in an SBL situation. So he's maybe the player I'm most curious to watch in the whole league. But it looks like he is going to take advice from the stream. Renai, 375.
Boom, okay. He just listened to us. He literally paused to turn the stream on. And then took advice.
So it is not going to him. It's going to burn some money through Cruz or another owner, as Cruz is already upping beyond what LCAD can play.
Yeah, I mean, Cruz and Hibbs are really the only ones left. The interesting thing, if this goes to Cruz, is Cruz isn't looking for somebody in the bot lane. Oh, dude, this would be real awkward if it goes to Zed. This would put Resquect as... Well, I mean, this could put Resquect as the mid laner. Or it could put a really good bot lane.
Wait, Resquect in the bot lane, it would put you in the jungle, and it would put...
Oh, wow, I was thinking it was Lazy Laz. I'm so dumb. I'm so dumb.
Microphone.
So the reigning champion team. You may remember your teammate Blabur.
It'd be real awkward if you guys just accidentally found him on your team somehow.
Okay, this is one of those picks that went way too low last season at 225, and this seems more reasonable.
I think 225 was less about like people didn't think he was good last season. He was just one of those players that slipped to way late in the draft when there was no money left on the board. Which there's always like one of those players every season who like goes for literally half the money they should. But it's going to be Cruz Master for 450. So Cruz he's building the team right now. That's 3 good players, and he still has control of the board with the money, or close to control of the board with the money remaining. And that's actually, I think Blab only plays mid these days. He signed up as just a mid player, so never mind any multi-role stuff. But that's a very known quantity in the mid lane.
Wow, this team Cruz though, so balanced. Love it.
And I was gonna say, this can't. We have to see this one on the board soon. The bestest one.
Yeah, this dude comes in every season. I think picks up League of Legends right before SBL starts and plays his heart out. And
yeah, signing up this season with a 3 for mid and support. So looking to play one of those 2 roles. Could be in the running for the best player in the league in either of them.
All I know is that he's gonna pick a champion that I've never seen before in a match, and I'm gonna be really upset.
Yo, I'm actually worried about that. I gotta brush up on the last few champs that came out before SBL started. Because I know we've got multiple Belveth players in the league. Like I think that's a scary woman monster. Like that's the extent of my knowledge about Belveth.
She's a stingray, and then she punches like she's one of like the JoJo characters.
It's just Master E, right?
Yeah, it's like she has like the Feral Flare passive, where like she gets more attack speed every time she kills like a jungle monster.
Consumes their knowledge.
Yeah, exactly.
As per the lore.
And then when she kills the Rift Herald or Baron, she becomes Yorick, and when all the minions die around her, she just gets to push the lane super hard. And sometimes in solo queue, you'll get an inhibitor at like 15 minutes because nobody's watching whatever lane Belva's pushing.
I hype up Bestis a little bit. He's always someone who will hard grinding if you ask him to. He's just someone who's like he gets into the game and win or lose, he'll go on to the next game and just freaking keep going. I've always loved playing with him. He's honestly very funny. He's a little bit less talkative in actual matches, but
he's a good guy.
Super cool.
I think he was a dude that like has played in the league for so many years, and last season was the very first season I'd ever gotten on a team with him.
It's funny. He's this guy who like came in, was in some of the early seasons, then like kind of vanished off the face of the earth. And he was a guy that like us, like in this channel, did not know super well. And I remember I put out this list of the top 10 SBL players of all time, and I put him on it. And I probably hadn't spoken with him in like multiple years. And he just comments on this after it gets posted, like, whoa, this is cool, thanks. And then like he just like signed back up for the SBL and is like a fucking monster still.
we love him. And wasn't Splitter the person who brought in Tebestis one? Like just as like a dude out of solo queue?
It was from threes, I'm pretty sure, is what he told me.
That's right. He was just a true line player.
Yeah. Wow.
Speaking of 10 years in the making, right there.
All right, so we have, speaking of players on that top 10 SBL players of all time list, speaking of something that washed up on the beach.
Oh, wow.
Past its prime.
Oh, wow.
Somebody who may have been a commissioner of the league at one point.
He still is a commissioner.
The man who watched the SBL die, the Baddie Overwatch League die, and god damn it, I bet he's going to watch the Baddie Valorant League die too. It's our own beloved 30 caliber.
He got it.
Oh, God.
30, how do you feel
wait,
about this?
Is this too much?
This is way too much for you.
Bro, no, I don't agree. That's wrong and you're dumb.
325. I went to 325 last season.
A few years ago, it's like the draft. Everyone's like, oh, 30's washed. He hasn't played this game in years. And then I would just watch him and Dan duo queuing till 3 a.m. every night. And he got back to plat within a week. And I was like, oh, he's still going to be good, huh?
Are you getting back to plat this season, 30?
That's the goal.
Do it.
Yeah, I don't know what role I'm going to be in, though. I was trying to go for jungle this season, but I think
you still have a good shot at jungle. I think actually, I mean, like, did you sign up jungle support?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're gonna get that on either of your team, or like on your team, either of those roles. They're both like, I mean, like jungle, the bottom half is a toss up, and then support, there's like 1 or 2 roles left. So I think you could get either one of those.
Do you think Respect Wang in 30 with no teammates is good enough to win the SBL?
No.
I was gonna say yeah, but okay.
30's the only thing that could save that from being team baby mental.
I have the strongest mental I've ever had. I'm 30, literally.
But you gotta be way older than 30, right?
I'm 30 years old. This is my year.
I don't believe that.
This is my time.
Show me your birth certificate.
Wayne,
Where
I think
webcam
the only saggy dude in the league, Wayne.
Splitter's older than me.
Holy fuck, dude.
And I think Bestis is older than both of us.
Combined.
Bestis is kind of old, honestly.
Okay,
yeah, I thought Bestis was an old man.
But
Bestis, you an old man?
Do 30 and Dan end up together every season since the comeback?
I'm pretty sure 30 is like, as soon as he sees Dan's name on there, he's just spamming the drafter's name in Discord. Just get me on, get me on, get me on. Spend
No,
all the money.
It's a one-liner. It's called obligatory. Please draft me with Dan. Post.
That's y'all got a squad now.
Yeah, that's actually pretty decent. I mean, like, and now you're looking for a top laner, like for 350. You guys probably have it.
That's a team you can be excited about. If you're any of those players on that team currently, you think you're going to win the SBL right now. 30, can you confirm or deny?
I always do. Doesn't matter what team I'm on. I could be the bench and I'll still think I'll win.
Never done it, but think it every time, and that's what counts.
Dan thought he was going to be top. Yeah, I thought Dan was going to be a top laner until now, and I think he's a bot laner with me.
I mean, he could be like literally anything. I mean, like you could support. I mean, like, but why wouldn't you want to bot with your duo?
I do, yeah, that is true. But besides Splinter, I think the other three of us are pretty flexible in our roles. Well, yeah, bestest one for sure.
I mean, bestest one. Whether he says he wants to go top or mid and support, he can top.
Speaking of tops, Thunder Cunt going on.
Is this Poppy guy? Or is this
Kled?
Kled. I always mix those two up.
Never see him play it though. It's just this band, so might as well be Poppy guy.
He draws your team one ban every game.
Yeah, that's true.
He's actually, from what I saw in his solo queue, he was a lot of Cho'Gath again, which he played on my team.
Yeah.
Very good
so
too.
He played some Garen too,
monster
didn't he?
Cho'Gath game.
The other guy, the guy on my next team was a Garen main. I think he might have played some Garen though.
Oh no, he had like 125 games as Garen last season. He was a Garen one trick last season.
Okay, right after you got off my team. My next teammate was a Garen one trick. Bonkrank. He's a Garen main.
Oh yes, yep.
That guy was
the man, the myth,
cleaning house with Garen.
Bro, I really want to see this Kled.
Me too.
Somebody's gonna let it through. He always gets one or two of it.
Probably Mad Cow.
Preseason.
Imagine.
He's going for a bit here. So I mean, Thunder's got to be one of the best players remaining at this point, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the best player remaining. Yeah. I mean, Cruz with all the money, I would expect Cruz to make a run at Thunder here. This makes sense that Cruz is in the bidding. And now, interesting, that's going to be Thunder going to that team.
A quiet team, honestly.
Yeah, but they're still in control of the draft. They have the most money remaining even after that. I wonder who they're going to go for, because if they go for Lazy Laz, that just introduces a whole a fucking nightmare of trying to figure out roles. But Lazy Laz seems like probably... Oh, Tuesday's still on the board. There we go. Tuesday's another good player.
Who's going to jungle for that team?
But it's still a nightmare figuring out roles.
Yeah, I mean, they still need a jungler.
We going to see that Blab back in the jungle?
I don't think he'd want to put Savo and Tuesday together. I think Savo's secondary would just be top right, and then Thunder.
Oh yeah,
be relegated jungle.
Savo could definitely top.
That'd be a little awkward, honestly. I'd prefer seeing someone else. But
so I think that you just put these players in their expected roles, right? And then find a jungler. Find a jungler.
They need the best jungler here as well. They have all the money, so there's no point not just throwing it all, right?
Yeah, I'm just wondering which of those players is like a throw-it-all player.
Yeah,
I mean, fuck it, just draft two junglers.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
One of them
make them fight. I mean, or they could go and try and draft a second top laner too and make them fight. Hey, you got Candlejack in there, best top laner in the league. Eh?
We'll get to that one when we get when he's up.
Wait, tell me right now, the Smash crossover players, are they all top laners?
No,
Okay, Cax is a jungler. Candy Jack's a top.
Natayan, whatever his name is. His name is Chai. Natonian, that's Chai, and he's a jungler. But he's also a top laner.
I'd like to apologize to Chai, the sole member of the AJS0 fan club. I'm so sorry you had to find out I wasn't playing like this.
Oh, shit.
Speaking of junglers, though, we got one on the board here. Numbnuts, one of our rookie players, aka Shiny Gaming in the chat, Shiny Gaming TTV on the Discord server. And you know what they say, guys? Everyone with the TTV in the name, that's a red flag.
That is true.
So this is, I'm not going to lie, from the drunk power rankings, I thought this dude was like a hard stuck bronze Teemo one trick. He plays more champs than just the Teemo, but
I fucked that up, and I actually, so I apologize. I should have switched him in Cax. I would have put him up to C tier and Cax down to D. That would have been where I would have changed that. That's the only change I would have made.
I asked him, I shot him a message last night because I was just curious, like, yo, dude, like, tell me about you. I know nothing about you. So he's a friend of Blomcrank's getting into the league. I asked him, like, the big thing I like to ask is, like, have you ever done competitive, like, tournament League of Legends? And his exact words were, I did one tournament back in 2013 and we had our Nexus taken at 10 minutes and I never fucking did that again. And he likes to play jungle and he likes to play off meta stuff. So you might get jungle Teemo, folks. But he was gold 2 last season. He was plat.
No, he was never plat. He was never plat. So his account got hacked and they ranked him up to plat.
I feel like everyone I know that's ever had their account get hacked has gotten ranked up.
Oh, this kind of awkward going to Zed.
This on everyone. Anyway,
Zed,
so he's gold 2.
Zed for 75 cents?
Well, we're at the point in the draft where, like, you kind of got to accumulate talents. So you got to take a run on somebody somewhere, right? He was gold 2 last season. Like, you got to see, can you mold him into the jungle, put Wang in the mid lane? But a brand new player to the SBL. So if he's good, that's good. If he's not good, well, y'all gonna see it on stream.
Any rookie that goes for less than the $1 is already in the bargain of the season category because it's unknown quantity. This guy could be the thing they just need to take it over the finish line.
Yeah, and Zed's kind of at that point where, like, he just needs to roll the dice on some players because he needs to get a lot of players still. So logical decision by Zed, who told me as of earlier today, he literally did not give a shit what the players on his team thought. He was going to draft what he wanted to draft. So don't DM Zed. He's not listening, boys. But speaking of unknown quantities, Lazy Laz, who I just gave a bit of a rant on earlier, presumably one of the strongest players remaining.
Okay. Goodbye, my sweet prince.
All right. Goodbye, Cal. Everyone wave goodbye to our good friend Cal, who had something come up and needs to hop off, which is perfect. More time for me to listen to the sound of my own voice, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, God.
How do you feel about my voice,
Laz.
Daddy?
I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, I feel good about your voice too, baby.
A lot of people say that, and that's just my life now.
Y'all aren't on the 30th day and OnlyFans. You are missing out.
Big time. Yeah, had a whole team. I sponsored a whole Valorant team. They're really good.
They won.
That's
they
what
won.
I thought.
They're really good.
30's OnlyFans stacking up W's as we all expected.
Lazy Laz. I mean, this guy is the highest ranked player remaining. I was gonna say best, but best is subjective. But
yeah, obviously he goes to Cruz. Cruz wants him.
Yeah,
Cruz gets him.
Yeah, that's
hell. I mean, you could put your 125 salvo on the bench if you needed to. Like,
I mean, that's crazy to think about. But what else can he get here?
I mean, he's still in enough control to have a lot of options. Like, he still has like $3 remaining.
Did Cruz figure out the draft? Like, solved it?
Well, it might not be over because it looks like Zed's maybe wants to go in here. So I mean, we see this a lot of seasons. You get a player really early on that you assume was a bargain, and then the draft plays out a weird way, and that player ends up being a bench player. Or, you just slot somebody weird into an off role. Like, the reality is this is the SBL. We don't have 4 players in every role. Somebody always gets shafted by needing to take one for the team and playing something off role that they have no desire to play. That's part of the SBL. That's kind of one of the beautiful things about League of Legends. It's a game about being greater than the sum of your parts and trying to find a way, and that's what the SBL forces you to do. And it looks like Team Cruz is going to have an absolute experiment in doing so this season.
Yeah, that's still looking like a fantastic team.
Yeah, there's so much pure talent on that team and so many ways they can use it. I trust that team figures out whatever weirdness with the roles and is just really good.
Yeah, the question is if they can find a style that they can all buy into. I'm trying to think of how these players all play. I guess I don't really know what Lazy Lass's style is like, but as far as like shot calling and macro game goes, who's sort of leading the charge here?
Yeah, that would be my question about this team as well. It's a team where I don't know Lazy Lass, so I don't know what he is like from that perspective, but the rest of that team, they are not lead the charge players. And if anything, they're players who I think there's quite a few players on that team that strongly need somebody else leading the charge. So I'm really curious to watch, but we'll have all season to figure that out. What we'll have only the next few minutes to figure out is Phoenix plays, who it looks like Cruz is willing to go for as his 6th.
Nice. That's a fantastic round out.
If he gets him, I'm wondering if.
Yeah, that's true.
I think he will, just because he's in this nice position where every other player needs multiple players, and nobody wants to spend right now. They're trying to be frugal, and Cruz can. I stand corrected.
But okay, if that did happen, that would be a crazy team. That's so well rounded and balanced. But yeah, the question mark remains on the.
Where the fuck is Zed putting these players?
Zed said that his teams always lose because he listens to his players about who to draft. I'm just wondering if Zed always loses because he's bad at drafting.
Yeah, I think that's where we're at right now.
Let's look at what Phoenix Plays has. So Phoenix Plays has a 3 for top. So I guess he could just be your top laner. Maybe if these idiots on the cast would have just looked at the spreadsheet that I have. No, it's the one directly in front of me. Like, there's no excuse.
But there's also has Phoenix played top in like 10 years?
He hasn't played in the SBL in like 5-6 years. Like, who cares what he's played recently?
What? He played last season.
Did he?
He made it to the finals.
Oh my god, I'm fucking blind, dude. I'm sorry, Phoenix Plays. I did not realize he was on power tops. How could I forget?
He was the mid laner that everybody thought was bad, and then I
was so excited.
He won a few lanes that
he just joined the server a few days ago, I think, and that's what I'm getting baited by. Was that him or was that somebody else?
No, Grant Spiffy. I think that's the one you're thinking of.
I'm just mixing up everybody. I'm mixing up everybody in the Blab gang. Sorry, Blab gang. This is why I'm not the commissioner anymore.
He went to the school of Blab mid lane, and he's really good. I mean, he's a lot better than people think he is.
He's literally SBL Ziggs, and that's not an insult. Like, if you are the SBL X, you are really good at something. So next up we got, speaking of, I don't know what roll tide joke I can make on stream, so I'm just not going to. NT Bama.
Is he from Alabama?
Yeah, that's what the Bama is short for. NT Bama, AKA Mr. Tuesday, because he always delivers on Tuesday, which, if you're not aware, is the night the SPL is played on.
And has always been the night the SPL is played on, or nearly always.
Yeah, there were some fake SPLs out there. There was that Twisted Tree Line League with a bunch of our banned players. Mad Cow tried to run something once.
Mad Cow ran that league.
Yeah, that is true.
The SBL Reborn or whatever it was called.
Didn't he run?
No, so Zachary took over the league when we went into hiatus, that other league with all of our band players, and then Dario Chapman was part of that, and then Zachary left it and gave it to.
You got that backwards.
Oh, backwards. Yeah,
Mad Cow took over
Cow
after
took
we
it
stopped
over.
throwing. After 30 killed the SBL.
Yep.
And then when he was like, "Yo, this sucks," and then he killed it, and then Zachary took over.
That server still the LBL. That's what it was called, the League Baddie League.
Those guys still going?
Nah, I've looked at the server a couple of times just out of curiosity to see if it started. I think there was trying to be a revival somewhere in like 2021 or something like that, and it didn't really work out for them.
No, that's fair. It's a hard thing to run. You gotta have a lot of things go right.
And then we actually got Thundercunt from the LBL.
That's correct. And we got Mr. Tuesday going to Hips here. So gonna round out that roster. That is a lot of talent. Our second 5-man roster assembled here. That's a good ass team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Where'd he go?
Your team.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Well, we're at the point in the draft when we can start crowning somebody the favorites, right?
Do not crown that team.
I would take it a step further. 30. I would say if your team doesn't win the SBL, it's a failure.
Oh no, I don't like that at all.
This is like, I think this team is such a heavy favorite. This is where if I were still running the SBL, I would manufacture a controversy to make sure the tree doesn't end up on the good team and ends up on my team instead.
Manufacture a controversy. That's never happened.
Speaking of controversy, a player who's very non-controversial, Cax. So this is coming in from Baddie Smash. I've known Cax for a bit now. He's been a part of Baddie Smash for a while. Roommates with Chai, aka Newtonian. So he has never played in the SBL before, but looking at his stat sheet here, this was a guy who's gold 4 last season. He's silver 3 right now. He was platinum 2 many, many years ago, and he put a 3 for a jungle and a 2 for every other role.
So yeah, probably go jungle here. But I mean, the 2's another role that gives me confidence that he at least knows he's played all the other roles, so he has good knowledge of the game.
Or yeah, is at least willing to play the other roles as necessary. I asked him. He said he specifically likes playing jungle, and he likes playing like beefy jungles and support characters a lot. And he also mentioned he's never played in a League of Legends tournament before, which is pretty normal. Most SBL players never have played in a league tournament before. So yeah, I mean, I'm curious. Like, you convinced me this dude's going to do anything.
What does he play in Smash?
This is gonna make it sound worse.
Okay.
So he's playing Lucas, which is the Nest clone, which that's bad, but like whatever. But for a while he was our hero player. For those of you who don't play Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, hero is rev up your albino Joe Rees in the chat. Hero is a literal RPG hero from the Dragon Quest series. He has RNG critical hits he can get on his moves. Just a 1 in 8 chance for any of his moves to crit you and kill you much earlier than you'd expect. He has a down menu to cast a spell from a magic menu that randomly pulls 4 spells from like a 30 spell list as if he was a Dragon Quest RPG character. He is like top 3 for most troll characters in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And a very iconic pick in Baddie Smash. There's been a lot of troll hero games over the years.
And that's one of his best.
And that's something he has played a number of bracket games on.
Okay. I know that information doesn't really help me, but maybe the chat appreciates it.
The Baddie Smash faithful, I think, appreciated it. But regardless, he's going to Team Alcad here as a third, so going to be the jungler. We said this team just needs to pick up a jungler, and it looks like they are going to commit to rolling the dice on Cax here. to be the person to enable Thrifty and Chopman to carry whatever washes up in the bot lane.
I think it's a great pick. You said he plays like tank or more frontline jungle support type characters.
That's what he briefly said when I messaged him, and that's really encouraging because it's a lot easier to slot into an SBL team, especially a team where you're playing with Dario Chopman. Like, if you're a tank jungler, you fit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is looking really good as far as the top side of that team. Still the strongest top side team, but now even more reinforced, I think.
Yeah, but of course the question of what will the bot lane be, as the more the dust settles here, the more I think there's more talent in the bot lane than I had expected. And while we're on a pause here, boys, carry the broadcast. I'm gonna go grab a drink real fast.
Alrighty. Weighing out there?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Cool. We could still do a Tizzy Albino Joe bot lane somewhere. Right here, yeah, team one actually.
Yeah, I mean, Tizzy did start a few games for us last season. I told her when I was looking over the support list this season, and I said earlier in the cast, I really think that Tizzy is starting support. Not necessarily because she's one of like the better players, but just how like the support pool pulls out. People are going to be really looking for that last support somewhere. The only other support that you may have that would compete with her down there, that would be for like your no money support type of character would be Bong Crank. And we don't really see a ton of his support as he's generally a top laner, but actually let's see what he put on the list.
Yeah, I 3 for top end support. Yeah, I know he played support.
He's played support in a couple of seasons, or at least support games. Maybe not every game.
Right. Yeah. So he has experience on it, and I think it's what he prefers nowadays, perhaps. But wait, Tank Axe to Cruise Master sold. Oh, okay. Yeah, that Cruise is on the clock, and he had all the money to do whatever. So.
And
Tank Axe rounds out Team Cruise. Wow. So wait, Tank Axe is a top laner, Thundercut's top laner. What? Wait a minute, guys. When this draft started,
you
remember he sold 2 top laners. Like, what's going on here? How is this possible? I mean, we were talking about how there's so few top laners, and
no. There's too many top laners. There's too many top laners.
There's too many bad top laners.
No, that's what I'm saying. There's so few good top laners, and I feel like the top 3 were Dario, Thunder, Tank Axe. Am I missing somebody? Probably.
No.
Yeah, I mean, so this guy took 2 of the 3 best top laners. This is.
But the trade-off is they're gonna have hard questions to answer about who's the jungle. Do they have? I don't think they have a single 3 in the jungle on their team.
Oof.
I actually know that Tank Axe is a jungler. I don't know if he put it on his list.
Yeah, he put it 2. So I mean, I would be willing to play it. Tree puts a 1, obviously. Salvo puts a 2, but I don't trust that. Thunder puts a 1. Lazy Laz puts a 1. Who did I forget to look? Oh, Renai. Renai, I think, put it 2. Renai put it 2. So those are going to be the options for junglers. And next up, we have the scariest player in the league. What did I compare him to off stream earlier? He's like playing paintball with a suicide bomber.
Hold on.
We're paused 1 sec, but can confirm Mick plays Valorant the same way he plays League. Some games he shows up and you're like, holy moly. Other games he's there.
He's like a worse Russell Westbrook, where it's like you have to tell people how he was like super good a bunch of years ago, but if you watch him play now, you literally wouldn't believe it. Um, he is definitely one of the most interesting players to watch in the league. You could tell me before a game that he's playing in that like literally any outcome, and I'd be like, yeah, I guess I believe that.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean Zed did the pause here. Hibs obviously put him up here, $0 remaining. If someone wants Mick, they're getting him, and it obviously looks like Zed wants him.
Zed's
Right.
trying to
We're
decide
having
if
these
he wants him.
conversations right now. Oh.
Oh, okay, that's what I figured. That's why you said pause.
Zed most likely has his choice of the player, just because it's very unlikely that Elcad would blow everything right now and have no choice of his last two. I assume Zed has his choice of player, and so he's trying to decide who he wants that choice of player to be, and then who the fallback is, because he's going to get one of those two no matter what. He says he's rolling a die to figure out if he wants Mick, and I think I might believe him.
Yeah, I think that would only be fitting. That's where's our dice cam overlay? Straight from Zed's apartment. Rolled a 0 on pause. A die with a 0?
That's Mick.
Yeah. It's a 0 for Hibs, yeah. There you go.
Find it out real quick if Elcad wants to bid 25 cents here or not. And it looks like Mikro will be rounding out your team 30 from the bench, presumably.
True.
I mean, there could be conversations about Mick and whoever the top lane. Oh no, I don't know. I think there's some conversations to be had on that team.
I think 30 would chop his junk off before he'd let Dan be on the bench, so I don't know if there are.
Wasn't Dan benched for some games last season?
Or
am I thinking wrong?
They were not teammates last season.
Yeah,
well,
they
no,
were.
but you're talking about.
Oh, they weren't. They weren't. Yeah.
Was he benched on Dan's team?
Yeah.
Darkin was the 6th player. I can't recall.
Oh, Darkin.
I remember him playing once. I think I remember him playing once.
Yeah.
All right, so one of the most important picks remaining. Elcad's up. He has to nominate a player that he presumably will get. The question is, will he spend any of his money? Oh, no, it doesn't matter. Elcad, wait, so did Zed just get... No, Hibs got... Micro hasn't been filled in on the stream yet. It's going to drive me crazy. All right, Candy Jack, one of the most interesting players remaining, and I'm not shocked here. So he is the best of the Batty Smash players at Smash Brothers that's come into this league. We'll find out what he is at League of Legends. But this man, he gave me a lot of information when I asked yesterday. So this guy was allegedly, this is his own words, I haven't verified any of this, so it could all be horse shit. But was allegedly really good at Dota, like Masters equivalent at 3 of the 5 roles, and like Diamond equivalent at the other 2. So like a top 1% Dota role at 3 of the 5 roles. Kai says he's going to be like one of the best players in the league.
Shit.
But he doesn't. But he like doesn't know anything about League of Legends.
I mean, I don't think it matters.
His big red flags. He believes in Elo Hell, which is a pretty big red flag. And he also he's always right. Candy is always right in his own mind, so that's a red flag. But I think he's going to be an all right teammate. I think he's probably not going to be as good as Chivixes is, but I'm really excited to see just what the hell he is.
Yeah, we were going through some of his like CSing numbers today just to kind of see where he's like sitting at like an actual laning, and he's pulling like 6-7 CS a minute. Like, I mean, like it's definitely not bronze numbers, but it's I don't think it would put him in with a good chunk of this league.
So he is going to most likely be I would assume is going to be a starting player for that team. Wait a second. Does this guy have any alternate roles? Because he's oh my god.
Yeah.
We're not. Whoa.
I mean, he says top mid and support. Is that not?
We're good. I've only heard about the top lane. I feel like, and I was like, wait a second. No. We're not putting Dario in the jungle. Then I was like, wait, we're not taking Cax out of the jungle. No, they're gonna just put Candy support. That makes sense. Probably. So Zed looks like he is making his pick for Bonkrank, and he currently has the tiebreak. So that means Bonkrank is going to round out Team Wang.
Nice. Okay, so that's let's see what we got here. What's the bot lane here? Respect Albino Joe.
Yeah, respective Albino
Yeah,
Joe. I
yeah.
mean, really the only bot lane you got?
Yeah, and then
still a respectable bot lane, comparatively to what else we have sitting on the table right now.
yeah, not a bad round out there. I like that team. Numbnuts is still obviously all these rookies to me are big question marks here, but everyone else I think this is really looking good.
Or a respectable bot lane.
Respectable. Oh, there we go. Yeah, Mick had to be put into Hibs there. That makes sense. And so the last two picks here, Tizzy and Natonian.
Oh, that is
three
that is
rookies on one team. How many rookies do we have this season?
4?
Holy shit.
Dude, holy shit. Team Baddie Smash. I'm gonna be so sad when they get Baddie smashed in all their matches.
Oh god.
I mean, they still have good solo lanes.
No, I'm hyped.
Yeah,
I don't care about any concerns I may have. They have fucking Chopman and Thrifty.
Yeah.
But if they don't call themselves Team Baddie Smash, I'm gonna be disappointed.
Yeah.
Or at least some sort of Smash reference.
Yeah, something.
Well, gentlemen, that is going to wrap it up here. The 10th anniversary of the SBL has had its draft complete. In a few months from now, 3/4 of these teams are going to be upset about how the season ends. You guys have any closing thoughts before we send you off to do the thing that you came for?
No, I mean, I mean, I'd be hyped on Team 2 and Team 4. They're looking pretty good.
Wait, what? You're not hype your own team up?
Nice, well-rounded. Do you understand? Dude. Do you understand how this works?
I know about having a good mental going into the season.
I have an excellent mental.
I know you do.
I think I think the Hibs team won the draft so hard that if they don't win the SBL, it was a failure and a black mark on every single one of their legacies.
Oh my god, I hate that. Just shut up, please.
It's okay, 30. We've never seen you play on one of the most stacked SBL teams ever just to lose the finals before.
What? I don't remember that.
Microphone activated. Microphone muted. Microphone
we even brought Bestis back from that team.
I don't remember a lot of anything in the past, but season 2, yeah.
Microphone muted.
I mean, team 2, I just like keep going back to them because it's so balanced across the whole rift. But I'm just so I don't know if that team's going to find their identity and understand how to play the game the way that they need to. I think.
Yeah, I mean they really gotta figure out a jungle situation and then hope that player like just lives and breathes the jungle.
Yeah,
and
but team 1 I think can go crazy just because they're gonna snowball topside and collect every Rift Herald and hit an inhibitor at 20 minutes somehow. Every game because Chapman's gonna get fed. It's gonna be a crazy top lane year.
Well, Mr. Commissioner, do you have any closing thoughts?
Microphone activated.
I can't hear you. Would you like me to relay any of your closing thoughts? So, that's a great point, Mr. Senpai. Thrifty says, our team is screwed. I'm going to run it down every game. God is...
User was moved out of your channel. User joined your channel.
So I hope you all caught that. Do I need to repeat myself?
I can translate. I'm a Thrifty translator. My name is basically the same. What do you have to say, Thrifty? See you next week, Tuesday for Scrim Week. Good luck and have your team names ready.